All right, guys, so we got this 2024. This is a Toyota Rav4. They just got this from the auction, and it is all keys lost. So we're gonna go ahead and attempt to make a key for this. I'm just gonna go ahead and plug this in. First of all, let me show you guys that when I push the start button, you can see that it says there is no key. If I put my foot on the brake and I push it, it does not crank. So we're gonna start by going into the emo. We're gonna go to Toyota. We're gonna do manual selection, USA. We're gonna find Rav4 right here. Now this is a 2024. This only goes up to 2023, but hopefully it should be the same thing. This is a smart key. So there's our vehicle. We're gonna hit yes. Next thing we wanna do is turn the hazard lights on. We're gonna go to control unit, keyless system, and here we find backup emo data. And luckily there is an option to back up via OBD. Before we do that, let me go ahead and put a battery charger on this thing. Okay, so now that we've got the jump pack connected, let's go ahead and back up emo data via OBD. Make sure you got good internet connection. We'll hit continue. It's reading the EEPROM. We have successfully read our EEPROM from our emo box. Now let's go ahead and save the file. I'll just say 2024 Rav4. Let's save. Backup succeeded. Now the cool thing about the KM100 is that it actually has a built-in emulator. So if we back up and we go down to generate analog key, we're gonna select our EEPROM data that we just read. There's our file. We're gonna select it, hit okay. Our emulator key has now been generated. We can now use this tool to actually start the vehicle. So if we just take the tip of this antenna, put it on the start button, push on the brake and push the button, the vehicle starts right up. And now that we have a working emulator key, we can now use this to add our additional key. Using this is going to allow us to bypass the need to buy a rolling pin code. Okay, so for our key, we're actually going to be using a universal Autel iKey. This is one of the new styles for the Toyotas. So we're going to go ahead and click on universal key. We're going to select our vehicle. Now for this particular vehicle, there are a number of different keys depending on the PCB number. Now, if we had the original key, we would just open it up and look inside, find the number that we're looking for. But again, this is an all keys lost situation. We don't have the old key, so we're just going to start by generating this one first. And if it doesn't work, then we'll come back and generate another one. So we're going to stick the key into the slot and generate universal key. Our key is now generated and ready to be programmed to the vehicle. Okay, so back to the emo side. I already went ahead and generated the analog key. We're going to go ahead and add smart key, hit okay. It wants us to turn the ignition on, so we're going to use the analog key on the KM100. Put it up against the start button, turn the ignition on. We'll hit okay, enter the VIN, okay. It says turn the ignition off and turn on the hazard lights. Ignition off, hazard lights on, hit okay. Now it wants us to load the EEPROM file. We're gonna select our file. So now it wants us to put the analog key up against the button. You heard the beep. Now we're gonna take our new key, put it up against the button. You guys heard the beep. The key is now programmed. Learning succeeded. Hit okay. And we are now done. Let's back out of the menu. Disconnect the tool. Now we'll see if we can start the vehicle with the new key. The car starts right up. Let's go ahead and test the remote. Lock, unlock. Key works great. So that's how you add a key when all keys are lost using the KM100 on a 2024 Toyota Rav4.